Ladies and gentlemen, I'm meadsyreplays. Welcome back to the channel. Now, before we get into today's video, Huawei App Gallery have still got this coupon offer still in their Huawei App Gallery, in their store, basically. So, if you download Huawei App Gallery and then download World of Tanks Blitz, you could get a coupon where you can get 30% off of anything in World of Tanks Blitz. But not only that, if you buy anything in World of Tanks Blitz, you will also be given 5% back in Huawei points. So you spend money in the game, you will get some back in points that you can spend on anything using the Huawei App Gallery. Now, this offer still is running and it runs till the 29th of the 2nd. Anyone that is outside the EU may have to download a VPN. You may not. It all depends. It might work, it might not. But it's a great way of getting stuff cheaper, and it's a great way of saving money indeed. So download Huawei App Gallery now. The link is in the description, and get saving money. Back to today's video. We are going to look at the top 5 tanks for winning right now in Blitz. So if you want to win battles, you could play these tanks because they are the highest win rate tier 10 tanks in the game right now, or at least the last update. Of course, a new update is here, so we do get that data from the last update. So in number 5, it of course is the T95E6. Now, it's a brilliant tank. It's been doing well actually over the last few updates. I'm not going to lie, it's been doing really well over the last few updates. I believe the last update it was up there in the top 5 as well, and this update it is still up there in the top 5 at 53.2% average win rate. There are a lot of people winning. I mean, 53% you wouldn't think is a lot, but honestly, that is quite high for a tier 10. That is actually quite high for a tier 10 app. You know, it's really good. Most people will look at that and it's only 53%, but yeah, most tanks are quite low in win rate because the average kind of player is looking sort of around 47 to 48%. So, and it's the top 5. It's the top 5 in tier 10 when it comes to win rate. So definitely the T95E6, if you can get your hands on one, it has been made better over the years. And I've said it a few times. It is the medium killer. It really is. It destroys mediums very easily. And it's got the armor profile to help with it. It's got the DPM. It's got speed. It's got the reload. Overall, it is a very nice tier 10 tank. So moving on to tank number 4. Tank number 4 is another premium tank. Now, there's a few premium tanks in this list, but there is also a couple of tech tree tanks. So this one is the VK90 at the exact same win rate as the T95E6. It is a brilliant tank. If you play it correctly, it is a brilliant tank. And it's got good armor. It's got great armor profile. It's good at side scraping. It's a good all-round tank if you play it correctly. If you play it wrong, then you can suffer. You're not going to bounce too much. But overall, I do think it is a brilliant tier 10 tank. Now, when this tank was first introduced into the game, it was hundreds and hundreds of pounds. I think this was it the first and Christmas tank, like the globes, and you had to spend a lot of money on the tank. Luckily, it has been around quite a few years now, so when it does come for sale, you don't have to spend too much to get it. As I've said, the armor profile is absolutely amazing when you put it in the right position. If you angle it wrong or over angle, then yeah, of course you can be penetrated. Like even here, we have still bounced over 17 or nearly 1700 damage. But given the time, they will aim at weak points, and you do have weak points all around. So try and wiggle as much as you can to be more successful in this tank. So that then leads me on to tank number 3, which is a tech tree tank. Now, number 3 is the WZ-113 GFT, the Chinese tank destroyer. Not a very popular tank, and it's never been a popular tank ever since this tank was released. But those people that are playing it are actually enjoying it, and they are winning. 54.8% win rate, which is over 1%, which is just over 1.5% more than the VK90. So yeah, people are winning and people are doing very well. I've always said, honestly, I love the tank. I really do love the tank, and it's a shame that not many people do love the tank. But yeah, it's never been a popular tank, and it probably never will be a popular tank. Even though it is a good tank, it's got a nice gun. The armor profile is very, very troll. It's not the best armor profiles, but you can still get bounces in this. You can get a lot of bounces. You know, it's got a big gun mantlet, as you can see. So, you know, if you wiggle, then they may shoot that gun mantlet and you will be able to get some bounces. So, never been a popular tank. I love the tank. I've always loved the tank. You can go back from when the tank was first released. I've always said I love the tank, and many people are performing well in this tank. Moving on to tank number 2, second in the win rate, or the average win rate for the last update. Is it another tech tree tank, or is it another premium? And it's another tech tree. Yes, we have another tech tree tank, the STB1. Now, over the last year or so, or probably less than that, this tank has just been performing better and better and better. It's always been a good tank, but for me, it always fell short from some of the other medium tanks out there, because it didn't quite have the DPM that other mediums, like the Russians here, like the T62 or the Leopard 1, it didn't quite have the DPM that these guys have got. But what it does have is a fantastic gun. It's got good DPM. It's got a fantastic turret, so you can get bounces. You can get a lot of bounces if you put the tank in the right position. And over the last couple of months, I've just seen so many OP replays in this tank, like more than usual. So people are performing really well in the tank. And in fact, 55% win rate in this tank, which is kind of not unheard for, but for a medium tank, it's actually very, very good. A medium tank in tier 10 is actually very, very good. Now, you've got to bear in mind, this is the average win rate. So it's not just good players playing the tank. It's average players. It's bad players. They are all playing this tank. And considering it's not an easy tank really to play, yeah, it really is performing very, very well. 55% win rate over the last update is a very, very good job indeed. And nowadays, it definitely is worth grinding. Like 100%, it is worth grinding. It's fantastic. And again, you put this tank on a ridge, it will perform even better. Like, you'll be surprised just how good this tank can perform. But you play this on a sort of flat ground, especially against another medium tank, then yeah, you're probably not going to come off best. You're going to come off worse. But put it on a ridge, you will perform really, really well. So that then leads me to number 1 on the win rate for the last update. And it is one of the newer tanks, one of my favourites, the XM66F. One of my favourites, and I think, to be honest, this is going to be one of my favourites forever. I love this tank. It is close to being my number 1, honestly. It's probably my number 2. I am going to do an updated top 5 favourite tanks in the game, but this is solid at number 2. And not only is this at number 1 when it comes to win rate at 56%, so a whole percent better than the STB at number 2. But yeah, it's one of my favourites, and it's also, looking at the stats, it's also one of the top when it comes to average damage as well. So not only people are winning in this tank, they are performing really well, and they are doing damage in this tank. It is absolutely fantastic. It's got everything you want. It's got armor. It's got DPM. It's not even that slow. It's actually quite a quick tank. It performs really, really, really well. And unfortunately, it hasn't been out for a long time. So not a lot of people will actually have the tank. But I have the tank. I think it is fantastic. And I'm glad I got this tank. It's probably eventually maybe It could even be my number one. You know, give it time. This tank could potentially be my number one. But as you can see, you can bounce anything. You can literally bounce anything that comes your way. But also, if people start aiming, they can penetrate you. So I wouldn't say the tank is overpowered, but I do think it is very, very strong in the right hands. And the stats go to show, because again, not only is it the highest average win rate, but also it is one of the highest average damage tanks as well, which we are going to look at in the next few days. So the XM is number one. So clearly, if you want to win battles, if you want to up your win rate, you need to play one of these tanks, because statistically speaking, you should be winning. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Are you surprised at any of these top 5 tanks in this list? And did you expect another tank to be in this list? Don't forget, we are only looking at tier 10. So what tanks did you think were going to be in this list? Let me know in the comments below. But for now, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm meadsy69, and I'll catch you all soon. Bye-bye.